CNN ain't see none of my friends. Swag gave me the blues, they never walked in my shoes. They want us living in fear, it ain't what I'm trying to hear. Switched it over to Fox, kept clicking, I barely stopped. New guest on NBC, no one that represent me. So I got tired of waiting, sit master debate. Give me some headlines, it must be past bedtime. Sleeping on me still like I ain't vitamin D for real. Rep your city, play devil's advocate. Wayne Brady gon' have to smack a bit. Tell me something good, a recipe for success. Give me some timeline, shot session and flight deck. Hey, P, what's next?
That's life, I guess.
I know our listeners look to your boy, you know what I'm saying, to keep them updated on the finest of alcohol. So get up on that whole garden, Google it. You know what I'm talking about? I told Shawty, well, son, sexy for me, even though I won't be able to see. Sleep better knowing if I was there, it'll be rough sex, nails in my back with every grind as I pull on your hair. I can't be your man while listening to T.I. Kilo for foreplay, yeah, love in your mouth. Hell no, we can't sex listening to Eminem. I hate to end up like him in the end. Outcast. Y'all already know I almost spilled the whole motherfucking thing of water right there. He talking about water. He talking about this your nigga C.O.D. the Cater Boy Music, aka Chosen One David, aka Tabula Rasa, aka Grandma Baby. He talking about Grandma Favorite. And I just like to welcome you to another episode of Gimme Some Headlines, and this is season 1, episode 19, and we gonna jump straight down, man. I ain't even got a whole lot of this, that, a little rhyme or a rap. I'ma just get straight to the shit and introduce my nigga P. I lied.
At least she birthed him, did what was honorable. Imagine if they were a team. He would be raised in a house full of love. The 4-letter word that niggas afraid of.
Henry Trotter IV, aka Home Run Trot, aka Frederick _ Douglas, aka Casino P, aka Mock Tube, aka Quinn with the pen and with the lens, aka Mr. Lone P. Good afternoon and welcome to Give Me Some Headlines.
Welcome. And as you can see, your dog suited and booted on my broadcaster shit, and my dog P got on a fucking Eric Benet back when he was with Halle Berry. I don't know what that is, but that is a thermal quarter sleeve. Yeah,
it's like a thermal t-shirt. I really don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's very comfortable, man.
I called it. I can see the fabric through the camera. That thing 4K. You talking about? Hey, and speaking of throwbacks, man, I got a random flight deck. I had to bring you in immediately. I couldn't even pontificate on my own on this,
man. I'm interested to see where we going today. Let's get at it.
Can I tell you what's on my mind, bro?
Talk to me.
I swear to God, bro. And I can put my hand on the Helios Biblios about this, bro. I have never, ever, had a woman I'm dating believe that I do not talk to my exes until we were no longer dating and it was radio silence. I'm talking throughout the entire relationship. When the last time you talked to such and such? When the last time you talked to such and such? When the last time you talked to such and such? And then when we are no longer dating, act surprised at the radio silence. I'm not even going to expound on that. I'm going to just throw it to you. What are your thoughts about that dilemma, if you will? And I got hella lotion on my hands, y'all. If y'all wondering what the fuck that is in my nigga finger crevices, that lotion. Black folks be lotioning and constantly moisturizing and all that. Square B.
So
that part of why they love me, because my hands are soft. What you said, cuz?
Give me that question again. I want to make sure I got the question right so I can answer.
To summarize, no woman I have ever dated has believed that I didn't talk to my exes until they were one. So I don't know where all of the insecurity or the lack of confidence in me being fully bought in come from.
Yeah.
And I also don't know where the surprise at how little I interact with you once we are no longer together. When throughout our entire relationship, you asked me about every ex you could think of. When last time you talked to it? And the answer was always, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Why would you think that once we split, the answer would be any different for you?
Yeah. So I'll attack that like this. One, because I think you talk to when you're in a situation, the woman who you in a current situation with, y'all discuss who you were in previous relationships. You give them as much of the history as is necessary.
Yeah.
And how you letting them know, like, this is how I act in a relationship. This is something I've done when this situation reared its head in a previous relationship. This is who I was. And so building up that portfolio of experience with the current partner and doing it, they don't want to lose you as a resource. So they thinking, if they were one of your exes, they'd still be reaching out, trying to get back in the door, maybe. So they like, these women must be hitting you up, and I just haven't found out that you hitting them up yet. And they believe you are, to them. Let me see how to phrase this. So once you leave that relationship with this current person, and now they are an ex, they want their foot back in the door, perhaps, and don't understand why, because they believed you to be the resource that you believe yourself to be. But at the same time, it's like, damn, well, he was that resource for me. Was I not that resource for him? Like, why would he not double back? And so, and it doesn't click until it clicks. Like, that time passes and they're like, well, damn, yeah, I guess here we are. And yeah, so the reason why, yeah, man, they want the resource and believe other people want the resource. And the well water is good. So they don't believe that people would stay in a drought rather than come to the well water. And they believe that you would freely give the water away, not just to quench the thirst of the person that you with, but to quench everybody, because it's water in the well and it's plenty of it. So why wouldn't you share the water that's in the well, because it's not running dry?
But the wildest part of that whole thing, like, when you talk about the element of telling them who I was in past situations and circumstances and all of that stuff, bro, I operate on a very simple principle. And any woman I've dated will tell you, yeah, he said that fuck shit to me, and I ain't know what it meant until I know what it meant. But I say the same thing to everybody I deal with, bro. Even friends, like, don't ever ask me a question that you don't want the answer to, because I'm going to give you that motherfucker. My grandma told me to tell the truth. You can forget what you say if you tell the truth, because it's going to be the same every time. So I ain't got I'm not going to waste energy lying to you.
Yeah.
If I talked to my ex yesterday for 5 hours, that would be my motherfucking answer. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a year into a relationship, to still be getting them when the last time you talked to whatever I told you last time is the same answer.
Yeah. I also think,
like, straight up, bro,
most people's experience, and I get this, like, even talking to my own baby, my lady, is that women are used to being lied to. And maybe one dude come along and tell the truth, but I was saying this to my lady. I was like, she's like, would you be worried about losing me? Like, would you be worried about losing me? I'd be like, yeah, like you, because you are very special to me. But at the same time, like I was sitting in the kitchen washing dishes after I cooked breakfast, and I was thinking to myself, man, like I've been watching a little bit of TV and everything, and I'm like, man, probably 1 out of every 7 black women is like a great black woman. Like every black woman is a wonderful woman. Every 1 out of 7 is probably like phenomenal, like you can marry. 1 out of every maybe 140 women.
Them C.O.D percentages, boy. Them C.O.D percentages.
And I was saying, like, I was thinking in my head, man. And I always say thinking in my head because you can think in your head or with your head. So I always say that. So people are like, man, what else you gonna think with? Like,
or out your ass.
I'm thinking like, or out your ass. But
out your ass.
I was like, man, how many like out of every dude is like a great dude, like a phenomenal dude? And I think about myself, I'm like, man, probably 1 out of like every 17,000, maybe. And when we get to the dude side, so it's far more phenomenal women than it is phenomenal dudes. So we are a hot commodity, and it's far less of us to go around. Like 1 out of every 17,000 dudes is a phenomenal guy. 1 out of every 400 something women is a phenomenal woman.
They said something. I read something this week that said 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men, and that's why they get cheated on. Because they all vying for the same group of niggas.
And there you go. So
now,
ain't crazy.
With that being stated, like I just wanted to support your craziness with a little bit of statistical data. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And that's not actual stats. That's just some bullshit. But if you think about when you talk about socioeconomic class, education level, blah, 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 only about 20% of men check all the boxes. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And the wild thing about women, man, they make concessions and then they adjust their effort and expect the same output. You feel what I'm saying? They be like, why this nigga here ain't acting right when I done did this nigga a favor pretty much? You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, that nigga getting half-ass effort. He know what it looked like. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to. You feel what I'm saying?
You can say whatever the hell you want to.
Like, I hate to say it like this, but nigga be like, how could you cheat on Halle Berry? Niggas who could marry Halle Berry get women like Halle Berry. So it ain't Rhonda at the hair salon that he gotta watch out for. It's goddamn Sanaa Lathan. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And these
that shit
women,
tough. And you hear what I'm saying? But
percent of like, if you put Halle Berry, like obviously she's one of one, but you get a bunch of these one of ones, they still searching for that 80% of them looking for that 20% of dudes. So if this is, we'll just use Eric Benet as a.
And the thing about that 20% of niggas, that 20% of niggas will marry a woman who don't check none of the boxes that are on the list of what it take to be a great male, because the list for men is completely fucking different.
Yeah.
So that shit wild. But to hit you with some shit, I was trying to get ready for that flight deck because I don't usually prep. I just be on some bullshit. But I was just Googling shit. And I found some shit 50 said, and it fucked me up. Because I don't have a why. I just, women out there to tell you that I say that bullshit a lot too. And I don't know where I got this shit. It's just in my soul. They'll be like, why you do this? Why this? I'm like, I don't know why. I just know that. And I'm a grown man, so I'm not going to waste time trying to figure out why I do it. I know I can and I get to, so who going to check me? Like,
right.
Fuck that shit. Like, I don't know why, I just know that. And that's the way the fuck it's going to be. Like, let's move forward. Cause trying to figure out the why, what you going to figure out the why and then break it down so now I no longer get to do it. No, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to. But the shit 50 said that fucked me up. And I was like, God damn. He was in the interview and he was like, so you start out as friends, you know what I'm saying? You get to know people and maybe there's a connection there and maybe you become intimate. And maybe you start to build a connection and you decide, you know what, we gonna do this just me and you. Maybe from there you get married. And I don't understand how you could do all of that and then go back to just not even being friends. And I was like, God damn.
How do you, man? As my dog stares longingly into space, figuring out his answer, we think we have it. Not just yet.
I said it fucked me up. I ain't say I ever fixed me afterwards. It just fucked me up.
I tell you, bro, I like that shit difficult for me, man. Like I'm friends with most.
I have no idea. I know that there's something broken that makes that possible. I don't think it's something special or some, yeah, nigga, I say fuck it and I never look back, nigga. That rearview mirror broken like a motherfucker. I don't even care for this. Dude, that ain't what I'm on. I just know that I don't communicate with my exes. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have people who shared a womb, the same womb that I did, who I don't communicate with. And it don't affect me going to sleep and waking up. You feel what I'm saying? So like, because of my maturation process, I learned how to let go of love and people who I loved at a very young age, and was introduced to death at a wildly young age. Like, motherfucker, I see, touch, kick it with every day. Like, we hoop together. Like, he, my brother, best friend, big cousin. Like, I see this nigga every day. He stayed 3 houses down on the street, get taken from us by gunfire. You feel what I'm saying? And the nigga who did it is another motherfucker I see every goddamn day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so like a lot of, I ain't mean to get all crazy, but I had to learn how to not have people I care about and find a way to deal with that shit before I was doing complicated math. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to figure that out as a human being before I started. And I was great. You know, I'm a fool with that arithmetic. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine how good I got at that brokenness. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But so I ain't patting myself on the back for it. I mean, fuck 50 for fucking me up with that shit. Cause up until that point, I had just been on that. I don't know why. I just know that. And then in preparing for this flight deck, 50 kicked me right in the balls. So I throw that to you. And also ask you to speak to your truth about what your experience is with exes. Do you communicate with any? How does that affect your current relationship? Is it something y'all communicate about? Do she communicate with her exes? How that walk? You feel what I'm saying? Not to be too. No matter of fact, don't speak on the her part of it. Just speak on the you part of it, if you don't mind.
Oh, no doubt. So
I overstepped my bound. Just had to reel that back in. Yeah, say that for I started to say mane and tail. Shouts out to Wiz Khalifa for putting me on the shampoos.
Hell yeah. Show and tell.
Show and tell. Fuck you, man. I was about to say love and craftiness. Show and tell. Fuck with it. Google it. YouTube it.
Yeah, man. I do.
What's y'all the moniker for the entertainment vehicle? She going by her real shit? She Oprah in it?
No. Yeah, I don't even know. We haven't even gone at Carmen. I think it's just Carmen.
I'm gonna just call her Loper for now, Lil Oprah. C.O.D, aka C.O.D, aka Loper.
Loper. I do continue to. I have contact with my exes. One of my exes in particular, and like this
plural. You sending out Christmas cards and shit.
Not even, man. Not even, bro. Like some will come up.
Invitation.
Even like this past weekend, the ex hit me up, and because she saw there's a small company from Fairhope, my hometown, that sells like really good meat. They only breed like these 2 types of pigs with each other, like, and this really, really good, small batch bacon. And she got some somebody sent her some like out there to where she lives, and it was like more. It was I think it was a dog treat or something like that. And she was like, she sent me a text message and of the packaging, and it was a caption that said "Fairhope," and it had a bunch of exclamation points. And I was riding in the car with the lady, and I was like, Shawty just sent me a text. Like my ex just sent me a text message, and she didn't really react because like me and this ex, like my current lady, my ex have had meals together. Me and my ex are in a fantasy football league together, and like my lady know about it, and so I think that shit been going on for like over, I think like almost 10 years at this point. And like I'm not gonna kick her out the league because like we no longer together or some shit like that. And
for the people who don't know P, can I connect the audience to that for a second? The reason that's relevant is because he commissioner. That's the only way he would even have control to kick a motherfucker out of the league. So he really do decide whether or not this person has access to the crew. But it extend like she his ex, but she is friends with all the motherfuckers in the league and has been for over a decade. It's bigger than what they were. You did with that.
Right.
That real shit. I just wanted to connect the audience, you know what I'm saying? Get them a little backstory. I be listening to shouts out to the fool. I don't like to advertise other show, but I be listening to, cause they entertaining this shit. I be listening to the Jubal Show, 96.1. And he married to one of the women on the show. And every day he say about 4 or 5 times a day. If he talking to a listener, he'll be like, I don't know if you know it, but me and such are married, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that shit always funny. Because if you listen to the show, you already know, but he do it anyway. And then every now and again, you'll see why he do it. Because randomly out the blue, one of the people who called had a dirty little secret. That's something they do every day. People call in with dirty little secrets, and they get them wild ass aliases. It'd be like, right now calling in with a dirty little secret is whatever's hiding under Pharrell's hat. And then they'll tell a dirty little secret. And one of the dope ones was a girl who said she broke her pelvis, and she told her family she fell down some steps or whatever. And her dirty little secret was that she had put a stripper pole up in the crib and she was practicing, and that motherfucker came loose. You feel me? So like the secrets be fire. But to get back on topic, a dude called in and his dirty little secret was that he was in love with dude's wife. He was like, yeah, I don't know if you know this, but man. And then the dude was like, oh, no, I didn't know that. He said, I thought you said you were a regular listener to the show. And then English Evan popped there. He was like, yeah, he says that like all the time. So like, it just speaks to, you can say something all the time and people still ain't gonna hear it. That's why that popped into my head with the whole I don't talk to my exes thing. Yeah, whatever. I'm your current. So that phrase don't even apply to me, and I'll always be that. You feel me?
Right.
So that's just good for me. But like, the thing about it here, bruh, it's not because I'm closed off to it. I just don't see where or when I would do it. So I don't.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, bruh, and I'm going to be brutally honest, I only have one ex that I don't like. Like, yeah, I don't like Shawty. Not a fan. Every other one of them, I still pray for them. I still think about them when I meditate. I still put good energy out for them. It's still a situation where if they called me for absolutely any reason, I'd pull up. I just don't reach out.
Yeah.
There's only one of them who couldn't call me.
I think I got one that I don't like. She's like my first serious girlfriend. Like it almost lasted a year.
And you don't like her?
She was an asshole, man. She said some shit to me that was just super foul, man. Like,
she broke it off?
I took it as foul.
She broke it off?
Nah, I broke it off. Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Yeah, I broke it off. I was like, yeah, I just can't do this no more. Because I thought about that shit all the time.
Interracial?
Like No, she's black. She's black.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I thought this was gonna get saucy. I was about to say, give me some headlines. What she say? Hold up.
She told me, bro. We was at I think it might have been, it was either at prom or after prom. And I never mentioned sex, like having sex with her ever. And I think we was making out in my car. Like, we was making out. Like it was high school. We was making out. And doing like some on top of the clothes stuff. Like just kid shit. Like I was 16. I was 16, I think. And she was, we was the same age. I was like 4 months older than she is. And
no,
she was like, "Oh, you just think you deserve it, don't you? Nothing you've done warrants you to have sex with me." I was like, where did that come from?
You watch too many movies.
Talking about sex. We were not. It came out of nowhere, and I thought about that literally every day. And I broke up with her like 2 months later. I thought about that shit every day for like 2 months, and I was like,
I gotta add another nickname. Sex? What? Who? Me? P.
Bro, like that
sex?
Shit was so
what?
left
Who?
field.
Me?
So because you know
That's
how
a good
I am
time.
with women, bro. Like you know how I am with women.
I do.
Like, I am not a pushy dude when it comes. Like I didn't have sex in high school.
You want to talk about old school? That nigga medieval. That nigga will Golden Temple Knights of Templar court the pussy. Like that nigga P is gonna write you poems. He is gonna goddamn run through a brick wall for you. He gonna get drunk telling homies about you. He gonna, he gonna tell your friends they need to get their shit together when they ain't doing you right. He gonna court that thing, but that nigga P write a poem about that.
That shit hurt my feelings, bro. Like her saying that shit hurt my feelings. Like that's how much it hurt. I was like, man, I just don't like you now. Like I don't like you. Like I don't even know where this came from, or
maybe it's that good guys. Maybe she had encountered some of them fake good guys who carry themselves similar to you, and they have an expiration date. And because prom has all of these connotations, she is like, okay, so this is where he becomes the basketball star. This nice guy shit was an act. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it was, and it wasn't about you. Because what I've learned in my time, bro, and this is through introspection, how I respond to things is always more a reflection of me than it is about whoever I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Period. Always. There was a time in my life when I would fuck your world up if you stepped on my feet. Don't give a fuck who you are. As long as you had dangling parts. If you had some dangly bits and stepped on my sneakers, I was fucking your world up. Now I could care less.
Yeah.
And it don't matter who it is. You could do it on purpose to some brand new sneakers, and I'll smile and giggle. Because I assume you did that because you think it will upset me. And for some reason, you running around trying to upset strangers. And whatever's going on in your life that got you searching for conflict will not become a part of my narrative. Period. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't got shit to do with me.
Yeah.
I can cop some more sneakers. I get one vessel, and I'm not going to waste any more of its durability beat niggas up. And
it's funny. It's funny that you said that, is because
I'm retiring these. Shit, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
That shit. That's what I did.
Putting these in my pockets.
I removed myself from the situations. Like, no, I don't feel entitled at all. I'll show you that I don't. I'll leave. You can
straight
give
up
it to whomever you want to now.
Straight up.
And we'll be perfectly like, if I felt entitled, excuse me. Like if anything that I did made you feel like I was entitled to your body, I apologize. Let me remove myself from the situation. That's why we broke up, because I was like, well, I don't feel that was the conclusion. It took me 2 months to come to that conclusion. Let me show her that I don't feel entitled. I'll have spent that year with her and I'll move on.
It probably created a level of detachment that isn't something you would ever feel comfortable doing with her, because she has that as a part of the...
Right. Rob would have never felt comfortable. Yeah. Never.
Like, to be honest with you, I would have done it much sooner than that, because...
You're a lot more resolute than I am also.
Yeah, I am. Because a statement like that would make me unconfident that consent would be something that I'd feel confident in. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So we would need to become, like, physical affection would not be a part of how we interacted. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some high school shit, we'd have just been partners after that shit. Yeah. Dead ass, bro. I ain't gonna tell my prom story. That's for a different day. But you know how I walk. Like, up until she who is not to be named, I was on some other shit. And I'm back on that shit. But yeah, shout out turned the nigga to putty. But yeah. So you know how I did, like, she'd have said that shit to me and I'd have been like, oh, I'm cool. Cause you also know how I moved, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I went out here just running around trying to fuck.
And that ain't how. That's the same, man.
That was the last thing on my mind. I was cooling. You feel what I'm talking about? So if somebody said some shit of that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good on that shit.
This is going a different direction than I thought it was gonna go, but I'm glad we here. So, like, I know you are who you are. I know you for almost, it's damn near 20 years at this point, since 2004. So yeah, damn near 20 years at this point.
Can I put a bow on that real quick?
Yeah.
I have never had sex with a woman for the first time unless we were both completely fucking sober.
Yeah, right.
Like, so when I talk about consent being some shit I don't play about, like, I'm never so hurting for pussy that I need to take it in a sticky situation.
Right.
So the tenets that I live by, ain't nobody gonna compromise, no matter how far the opportunity or whatever the circumstance. It's certain situations. Like, I've had women who found that out come throw me the pussy by whispering in my ear, I ain't had a drink all day. That became a thing. I ain't gonna say at what time or how it spread, but if you wanted some, moving forward, consent some real shit that matter to you, boy. And that's why that shit is something I'd have been like, yeah, I don't know if I could be around you. Because if me and how I carry myself make you feel unsafe in that manner, or make you feel like I feel like I'm entitled to anything, then I haven't been doing a proper job of representing myself. And I need to give you space to find somebody who make you feel safe, period. And I will regroup and do shit completely different in my next situation. But this one, I'm cutting ties. That's just how the fuck I move. I respect that this a L, and I will go back to the drawing board and learn. But I'm good on all that shit. 100%. But yeah, go ahead and take us in a different direction.
Yes, sir, man. Not to cut you off, but I'm glad because this is
I had to make that clear though, but I don't play about that consent. You keep that for a sec.
But I ain't worried about it. Consent should matter. It should matter to everybody, bro. Like, consent should matter to everybody.
100%.
And obviously, we live in a society where historically it don't matter to everybody, and so, and this ain't on some trying to make ourselves out to be like them niggas. Like, nah, this some shit that really fucking matter, because I don't want nothing that don't want me. Like, I don't want nobody or no woman that don't fucking want me. Like, I'm not trying to take, like, that's, we talk about this shit from time to time in our conversations, and we call this sex is a sacred energy exchange. Like, why the fuck do you not take it seriously enough to where you and the person who doing it or Purge Sons, like everybody is in this shit to do it. You know what I'm like? It just doesn't make any fucking, to me, it don't make any sense to want to take somebody's sexuality from them or take anything from somebody that they don't want to give you. Like that shit is foul as fuck, man. And them niggas, yeah, I have little, not even little respect. I ain't got no respect for them niggas and how they wop, how they move, man. When you out here moving mad like that, like that's fucking insane. And I believe them niggas deserve to have their ass beaten. I'm willing to hand out the mass whippers, man, anytime them niggas feel like it, bro. But like I said, not to cut you off, and continuing the conversation around dating, man, I want to give you some.
That nigga transitions be legendary. That nigga say some of the most stark, serious, grating, just and then be like, but yeah, man, goddamn fuck. God damn. Let that breathe. Go ahead though.
But yeah, I want to give you some timeline. I sent a video to you. It's a young lady on TikTok, very beautiful young lady, and she posed a question, serious question. Ladies, if a guy asks you to split the bill on the first date, how would you react?
I remember this. Yeah,
there was a response to that by another beautiful young man, and he is a dating coach. Apparently, he don't look no older than 22, maybe 23, but he a dating coach, and he says that if you invite a woman on a date, on the first date, you should pay, and she should offer. When the meal, y'all finish y'all's meal, the bill comes, you should pull out your wallet, card, cash, pay for the meal. If she don't at least offer to pay for the food that she ate, you should pay for it still, but never contact her or talk to her again or go out on a date with her, obviously. And at first, that shit had me infuriated. And then I went and watched more of that young man's content, and it's not crazy at all. And I thought about more what he was saying. He was like, I understood where he was coming from. She has a sense of entitlement, blah, blah. And it's just, it angered me because I don't share the same sentiment. And not even about, because I hate the topic of paying for dates, but we just heard about one of your rules in dating is that you don't have sex with somebody for the first time unless they're sober. Do you have any other rules to dating, and like where did those rules come from?
Yep. Yep. Grandma talk. She said, baby, never let anybody change you for the worse. And the other half is that you got to let people change you for the better. And she who is not to be named, yes, I've lived a life in love, and people got aliases. And this young woman's alias is she who is not to be named. Yeah, sash out to Harry Potter. But the way our life together manifested, I don't give a fuck about that shit when it comes to money as a resource between me and my partner.
Right.
Because in life, the most valuable resource is time. Time is the absolute only resource that we all have, are constantly losing, and will never get back. And time is also the only resource that none of us know how much of it that we have. So for the woman I'm courting, the woman I'm pursuing, the woman I'm dealing with, if she is blessing me with her time, then I will seek opportunities to get her time. You feel what I'm saying? And if I create the opportunity, then I will have the resources to facilitate it. And in my life in love, I have been blessed with women who see that. And I guess the Libra in me attract women who do the same in kind. I had a chick who really loved to go to concerts. I took her to a couple of concerts. She'd find people I was listening to in the car all the time and just buy tickets to motherfuckers when they was coming to Atlanta. She hit me up 2 days before the show. It'd be like, shit, you know, Mac Miller at the Tabernacle. I'd be like, you bullshit. How much the ticket said? She was like, why would you even ask that? Not like, you lying. She said, be ready at 6, wear something sexy. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You already know. You know what I'm saying? And then I take her out to dinner beforehand, you know what I'm saying? We get some coffee and shit, because, you know what I'm saying, be high as a kite. So I want to make it through the show. So we get some coffee or something and then hit the show. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was just balanced there. It wasn't no question of who was paying for dinner, because when I said, hey, boo, let's go get some dinner before the show, she was like, bet. I asked her to go do the shit. I got that.
Right.
She asked me that I want to go to the Mac Miller show. She already had bought the tickets because she know I wanted to go to the motherfucking Mac Miller show. You heard what I'm talking about? That nigga did Goosebumps at the Tabernacle, boy. And it was general admission. So sit where the fuck you want to when you get there. Nigga, we got to the second level front of the balcony. So it's like we were looking them in the eyes the whole show. Man, that whole bit was bouncing. Bruh, that whole show was lit. Childish Gambino. She introduced me to Childish Gambino. But I got them tickets because it's somebody she was always listening to. And she was like, shit, you like the Tabernacle? That was a nice spot. Let me see who coming through the Tabernacle. And she just watched who was coming through. She was like, this motherfucker, I love him some Mac Miller. We in that bitch. You feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
And it was just balanced there. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to a first date, I'm going to definitely be the nigga who tried to create the opportunity and sought this woman time. It ain't no question whether or not I'm going to be the one who pay for the shit. And I ain't about gestures. You can keep all of them motherfuckers. Don't reach for a goddamn thing unless you paying for that shit.
Right.
Period. So fuck that fake ass gesture.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want a woman who confident when she show up to the date with me that she ain't got to reach for that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And I also want the type of woman who don't invite me out to brunch with her girls, and then the check come and they look at me. And I'm like, y'all bitch, you're crazy if y'all think I'm paying for some goddamn meals. Y'all whole treat me today. Like I've said that shit loud with the waiter before they even walked off. I said, y'all treat me today. Fuck, y'all thought there was I had 2 mimosas and the table had 16. I'd be damned if that's my bill. I said, hey, how many dishes we got to wash to get out of here? I said it just like that. I'd be damned if I reach for my wallet. Try to play me you want to. It was the second date. The first date we had went to Roof Chris. Okay. I guess she thought a nigga was a chump. The second date, it was, what's that brunch spot over there by Hill Street? It's some dumb ass name. Is it Breakfast at Tiffany's or some bullshit like that? You be at them fancy spots, nigga. Motherfucker tried to play me. But the funny shit about it was they ponied up the money for the bill and tipped like $10. So I tipped the waitress the entire bill. I was like, I just wasn't finna let them play me. You have a good day, shawty. Just like that. I said, I'd be damned if y'all. They were like, how the fuck? I said, what y'all mad about? That y'all can't call me broke? Or that y'all had to pay for y'all own fucking food? Like, what y'all mad about?
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
Bruh, I be playing chess, not checkers. I tipped the waitress the equivalent, tipped the 100% of the bill. Yeah. Be mad. Them for all the fellas out there, like, what do you do in that scenario? Make them pay that shit and then tip the hell out the waitress. So, yeah, be mad. It ain't about the money. It's the principles out this motherfucker.
Bruh, I dated a chick that went to our rival school, and she came to visit during the summer vacation between freshman and sophomore year of college. She came down to my hometown from Memphis, and she had a homegirl that like was from my area. And I invited her out. I invited a homegirl out. I said, hey, yeah, invite your homegirl out. I'm going to pay for dinner. Like, I want her to come with my cousin was dating.
You offered on the front end, of course.
On the front end.
Been there, did that. Yeah. Tell me more.
And I didn't think of this shit. Like, when she ordered, I ordered it was a shrimp dish. I remember this shit very vividly. It was a shrimp pasta dish. Lady ordered like a fish dish, but I think it was like fried catfish or some shit like that. Her homegirl is from that area, right? Knowing how she ordered an item on that bitch. And not to say that I offered to pay. Cool. I offered to pay. She ordered market price. That was the first time I'd ever been to a restaurant that said market price. It didn't have the price down there. Her shit cost more than me and my lady combined, nigga. Mm. And I paid it, didn't complain about it, but I knew it was on some left field shit when my lady was like, I'm so sorry about that. Like, she was out of bounds. She ordered more drinks than me and my lady combined, and she ordered something that was market price. So she came in there to get over. Like, she came in that thing to get over. And I paid the bill, did the whole, like, I was like, I said up front, I will pay this motherfucker. And
how many years ago was this?
Huh?
How many years ago? Got to be at least 5.
05, bro. This was 05. This was 15.
Of course. Now, that is a young man's response to that. Being the man you are now, you realize you and your lady at home, shawty on vacation. Beyond that, you and your lady just kicking it. She coming to visit 2 friends, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All of that is normal. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, and at that point, and at that point, because I know you, no, and I'm speaking from experience because I have been to Houston and him not let me touch my wallet because it was my birthday weekend and I came out there ready. You feel me? But I have been to Houston and he like punched my wrist and I like dropped my wallet and then I had to take it and touch it to the ceiling 13 times because I'm superstitious as fuck. Y'all learned a little bit about tabula rasa just then. But yeah, like nigga punched my wrist when I tried to pay for something. Yes, so this is what I know of him, but like, I feel what you saying like a motherfucker for the listeners. Ladies, when you going out with your friend and her man and he the type of nigga to pay, don't show your ass is what he's saying. Yeah. And for the old niggas, we don't give a fuck at that point because if we offer and we on that shit, we just understand that's just where you at.
I was still on worse study.
Yeah. Bruh, speaking of that, bruh, this wasn't an ex, but it was like, I guess, you know what, I'm not going to tell this story because we're not even on that segment. I don't even know how I was about to do that to myself. We talking about paying on dates. Woo! Okay, because you know what I was about to do? A story about not paying for movie tickets?
Yeah.
Okay. But I had to shake that off, wiggle that out my nutsack. Oh man. Paying on dates and shit. When it come to take this to the next level, to some shit that she who was not to be named and me, this only came up a few times and it was family, so it wasn't no smoke. And it was shit where like I got it and then shawty hit me on the back end because she didn't mind it looking like I was moving like that, but she didn't want me to have to. You feel what I'm saying? Like she was just dope as fuck. But anyway, when it come to going out with a chick and her partners and shit, or going out with a chick and her family and shit, and y'all the home base as opposed to you visiting them, or the friends is coming into your situation, where your head at on that? Or throwing an event and all of your homies bring some shit and all of her friends show up empty-handed, thirsty. You know what I'm talking about? This is sneaking out with bottles and shit.
And we were talking about
where you meet these ratchet bitches. I thought you said these were your college partners. These hoes don't read books. Now I'm talking shit.
the premise of this Give Me Some Timeline was, do you have any
shots
rules
fired
for dating? Do you have any rules for dating? If so, what are they? My rules for dating are a lot like my rules for any social interaction is, when you come into my orbit, I want you to have the best fucking time possible. Because I'm trying to have the best fucking time. If I'm out, or if I'm at my house and we doing something, or I come to your house and we doing something, I'm trying to have a fucking good time. Especially if I leave my fucking house, because I create the environment that I like to be in. So I really don't have to fucking leave the house. I've become a recluse in my advanced age. And so if I'm doing
Can I tell you what a hood nigga told me?
What's that?
Treat my pocket like you want me to treat your pussy. Consent, consent, consent. Don't run around expecting a goddamn thing. I said, whoa, buddy. That make too much sense. You show up somewhere expecting this nigga to commit his resources. That man accumulate his money through working 40 to 60, 70 hours of his week go to creating his resources for him and his partner. Because you know her, you feel entitled to the resources this nigga work hard to build. Any money he spend on you, he not saving. Any money he spend feeding you, he not investing. Any money he spend entertaining you, he not putting away for his kids one day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How dare you walk around feeling entitled to this nigga resources? Because you her friend? That's hilarious to me.
It is.
The entitlement of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will say that the young lady who I was seeing at the time made up for her friend's mistakes. Not even mistakes. She made up for her friend's actions. She went all out. I will say that. And I appreciated the effort, which is why I was like, hey, yeah, we friends. We still friends. I like that ex. Like she handled things very well in our relationship. But yeah, man. I
told
my
you.
rules is like we talk about.
But where we at now, we just don't give a fuck. But that was speaking for the niggas who dealing with entitlement. At this point, we don't give a fuck. If you come and we entertaining you, you just a guest. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If you a douche, then you get invited back less often than guests who not difficult. But if we love you, you get invited back, and we know what it is when you show up. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We just deal with it as a team. You feel?
And that's the thing, bro. It's like, I will invite you. You fool me once.
Omaha. You feel what I'm saying?
Remember
she showing up their weekend.
We threw a party at the apartment in Buckhead.
Living. Talk about it.
And buddy, we threw the party. We went to Sam's Club. We did all like the cooking, the shopping, the whole nine for the party. And this dude didn't even live at our apartment. We did the shit at the apartment complex pool. Folks was paying us for plates who lived there, smelled the food, was like, that smelled great. Can we get down? Like, they would give us money for like, well,
niggas was running the Publix and getting more meat.
Yeah, it
was like, y'all will season it and cook it for us. We were like, yeah, we got you. Just go get the meat, cuz.
Yeah.
And so like, we'll still pay you for the plates.
And there was a buddy who
that nigga P was in there fucking shit.
He was going to invite some of his friends. He was the guest of somebody else, and we met him.
He was a fourth friend of a friend.
He was a friend of a friend, and we met him.
Somebody we fought with the long way.
Yeah, we met.
And the way we operate is if we fought with you the long way, and somebody show up.
My story.
My bad.
We met this nigga through a friend about a month earlier. We throw a party. We let him know about it. He started telling his friends who've never been in our apartment complex that he throwing this joint event with us. And he started like inviting like all these people we don't know and saying like it's this joint thing. Like he started lying to folks like that he didn't put money in for he brought like 2 bags of ice to something that cost $400, $500 to put on. from food to supplies to alcohol, supplies being extra curricular activities. And so we just didn't invite him back. Like, that was the last time. Like, you got us that one time. Like, you fooled me once. And we just didn't invite him back to any other function that we had. And he just wondered why we never invited him back to anything. And it was because of how he acted at that one event. And one time is plenty. It's plenty. And I remember another partner who was actually involved in that process got real upset and wanted to check him and all that shit. Like, man, for what? For what? Not to ruin our good time today, because that's going to dampen the entire mood of this entire thing. All we need to do is, from now on, we know we don't deal with this person. We won't get these folks that he brought in here whom we don't know. We won't get that energy of, I put this thing on when he didn't. We won't get him, because he was taking plates and shit to go, trying to take alcohol and shit to go. It was like, bro, all right, fool me once. And now we know not to deal with you anymore. And that's the thing. It's like with the young lady who thought that I was entitled to her body. It's like, well, I will remove myself. Because like the young ladies who have been in your life that you have come in, they've come into your orbit. And you said that you didn't rock with your exes like that while you was talking to them, but they believe you did. And when you are not a resource anymore, you are not a resource. So I guess the lesson up to this point in Gimme Some Headlines, season 1, episode 19 is understand your value and understand that you are a resource. And you can use your resource however you see fit. And it's your fault if your resource is used and it's being used in a way that you would prefer it not to be. So take that with you, man. Wherever you go, is you are a resource, and it is up to you to allocate your resources how you see fit. And if your resources are allocated any way that you don't see fit, or you would not like them to be allocated, it is your fault. And up to you as a consenting adult to either remove yourself or reallocate your resources elsewhere. You got anything for me, G?
To speak to the friends who show up to things that the man is treating, to speak for my niggas again, understand that I said one clear thing to you. When I'm with my lady, because I enjoy that time, I have absolutely no issue committing resources to creating that experience. You come through and you on your phone the whole time. You got an attitude. You bitching about how your food tastes. You just a bore, a drain. Everything you got to say about some shit on Instagram. Like, this ain't Tosh.0. I don't want to hear your opinion on the internet. I could see that shit if I felt like it. You feel me? Like, but like, if you just not a good time, like my nigga P said, I ain't gonna trip, but I'm gonna tell your friend, fool me once. Cause the whole thing is, I'm never gonna crab. You feel what I'm saying? In that scenario. But what will happen is I'm gonna ask who all coming, and then I'm not gonna fucking be there the next time y'all do something. So you could be that same person and have a good time with your partner, but I'm not. That's not what I'm doing that night. That's not what I'm doing that night. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're going to be hard pressed to convince me it's me and 6 of your partners. And it's messed up if my night is actually me and 6 of my partners and your night is you and 6 of yours. As opposed to I come out with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? I just not be there. If Shawty going to be there. I'm good on her. You feel what I'm saying? I never make you choose. I've already chosen. Y'all have a good time, baby. I see you tomorrow.
What's the name of the show, man?
Give me some headlines.
Do you mind if I give you some headlines, man?
I wouldn't mind. That nigga P was ready to kill me a second ago, but I just had to scoop from the mic. I started to come back and I looked up and that nigga eyes sent me some lasers. I just said, shoot. I was just coming over here. Hi. You thought, hey, you tell me. Give us a headline, too.
Yes, sir, man. All right, man. A report. Max Kellerman expected to leave First Take as Stephen A. Smith's co-host. That story is by Bleacher Report. This story, Rolling Stone. Kendrick Lamar teases final TDE album in new message to fans. This story from Washington Post. J.R. Smith isn't kidding about his dream of playing college golf.
Damn.
I'll swing back to them for you.
Nah, you ain't got to, but I know which one I want. Fuck. I love J.R. Smith, man. He one of my favorite basketball players of all time. His bag wasn't missing a goddamn thing but giving a fuck. Like, for his first 10 years, like, this nigga would fly through the air and throw some of the craziest dunks on the planet down. And then just became one of the deadliest snipers in the league. Like, the nigga playing with Bron, like, man, I don't know where this nigga got that fadeaway step back three from. He like, 2K. The nigga just did shit he was doing on it. Like, he could do whatever the fuck he want to on the basketball court. But we got to talk about that Max Kellerman story, bro. I need that. Give me that info, bro. Cause bro be having the cocaine eyes. I need to know what his next step is. I need to know what's going on with Max CK, man. But shouts out to J.R. Smith, man. You one of my favorites, bro. Like, ain't no, man, in the top 10, fuck that. You one of my favorites. I watched as much of you dribbling a basketball as I could. I followed you to New York, nigga. I followed you to Denver. I followed you to fucking Cleveland. Wherever you was hooping, nigga, I was there watching you do that shit. Just like I followed Brian Monkey from Cleveland to Miami. And whoever you was hooping with, I was automatically fucking with them. Just like I was, as far as fanatic, like you neck and neck with Bron for me, bro. I fucks with you. You feel? Shouts out to JR. Yeah. And I will be watching their golf career. Please throw them headlines up moving forward. We need to check in on JR.
That's a bet.
But this is once in a lifetime. Maxie K getting fired.
Yeah. So Bleacher Report reports that Max Kellerman expected to leave First Take as Stephen A. Smith's co-host. ESPN pundit Max Kellerman might be leaving First Take to take on, quote, more extended duty on TV and ESPN radio, unquote, as first reported by Michael McCarthy of Front Office Sports. Andrew Markhand of the New York Post added that Kellerman is expected to be removed from the popular debate program. Per Merchant, Molly Karam is expected to remain the host and Stephen A. Smith the star, but Kellerman may not be replaced. Instead, a rotation of verbal sparring partners will likely make the short walk over each morning from another ESPN show, Get Up, which is located in the same Seaport studios. It could be Stephen A. Smith versus the world, a source told McCarthy. Alongside Max Kellerman, his Max Kellerman show on ESPN Radio and ESPN2 boxing show, Kellerman reportedly may join the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin radio show, according to McCarthy. Smith is undoubtedly the headliner amongst ESPN pundits, as evidenced by the 5-year, $60 million deal he signed in 2019. But according to Marchand, Smith has often appeared disenchanted with Kellerman, and the latter's removal has been in the offing for a long time. So, hearing that, man, what are your thoughts about? Because I know you consume a lot of sports radio on your morning rides, through work, during work, from work. You consume a lot of sports radio and sports talk, and I know that you are very familiar with especially like with First Take, with Skip and Shannon on Undisputed, the Levitard show. What are your thoughts, man, on hearing what's going on with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman?
my comment ain't even gonna be about sports radio. It's just gonna be about life. You know how tough it is to get fired, and the answer to who your replacement is just anybody who walk over, whoever next door. Like, they not. God damn! Like, that's all I really got to say. That's what's shocking. Like,
yeah,
just anybody who walk over. That's who will replace you. That gotta suck, bruh. They paid this nigga like 12, 20. I don't know what. He signed the biggest deal ever at ESPN, and they tell you, we'll just have anybody do your job. Pay them a per day stipend. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. You go on. You figure out your next step. That shit tough.
Yeah. And the only reason I feel like they bring,
like, imagine if you did that shit to me, bro.
Argue with Stephen A.
I fly to Houston and fight you. We got to fight about that, cuz if you be like, yeah, Dave, they're gonna be the last time I get your ass some headlines.
But then it might be my neighbor. My neighbor.
We gotta, yeah. Shit. Niggas get the internet every day, B. I be like, who gonna replace me? Niggas get on the internet every day, B. I be like, oh, ain't that a bitch? You feel what I'm saying?
So yeah, I when I read it, I was like, man, that stinks, because I didn't. Yeah. Wherever he go, I hope it's better than sitting in that seat. Even though that seat get a lot of pub, I hope it's better than that seat. Stephen A. Smith, though, he pushed the envelope, man. Like, it's Screaming A is a behemoth now in talking. Just talking.
The craziest thing is, like, people see Flip Bayless as a tyrant, and people don't realize how necessary that energy was to offset Stephen A. And now people are getting a glimpse of what it's like with both of them apart, with people who humble themselves to their tyranny. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shannon has much more stature, both physically and in his career and what he doing, you know what I'm saying, from a confidence standpoint. So he just got a whole era of you ain't gonna hold me that he carried himself with, that Max could never solidify. No matter how confident he was in his opinion or righteous he felt in what he was saying, Stephen A. make a face and it invalidate all of 10 minutes of him talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that just had to be, I mean, people who do cool ass jobs hate going to work too. And that nigga had to hate going to work for a long time, even though it was the biggest platform and opportunity he had to that point. You know what I'm saying? But he damn good at talking, and he gonna find a place to talk about stuff. I'm sure of it. But if you go to that Keyshawn show, I won't hear shit he say until he not on that Keyshawn show. And I fucks with Max. But if you go to that show, I won't hear a goddamn thing that come out of his mouth. I scroll past clips that's supposedly viral. I'm good.
I'm not a fan of Keyshawn. I'm not. I'm not.
He the first diva wide receiver that I wondered why. Everybody else, I was like, get their ass. Oh, he put the cell phone out. That nigga wildin'. Oh, that nigga golfing with the football. Okay, get their ass, Chad. Okay. Oh, that nigga put his pants down and moon that shit. Okay. Oh, that nigga on the Dallas Star. Throw me the damn ball. You wrote a book called Throw Me. You slow as fuck. Your big route is a hitch. shut your ass up. Like, I ain't a fan. And I'm sure he want all the smoke. I pray that clip don't go viral. Cause I don't know. Fuck it. I stand by it though. Fuck it. I was rooting for that Bucks team that won, but it was for Sap. It wasn't for him.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Sap, man. I fought with all them canes that came through in that era, man.
I remember that clip, man, where he was sitting next to
only Trojan I fought with it, Reggie Bush. Get that man that Heisman.
Keyshawn was sitting next to Chad Ocho. He was interviewing Chad Ochocinco, and he was asking him, man, like, well, why don't you just calm down? You know what I'm saying? Just do what the coaches ask you. He's like, because I read your book. You wrote a book called Throw Me the Damn Ball. He's like, well, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm that good. I can command that. He was like, this is your fault. How you gonna sit here and ask me that question? They should have chose somebody else for this interview. So I don't know how we got on Keyshawn ass, but he was in that. Yeah, they saying it.
They were saying Max. Yeah.
Don't do
Max. If you worried about your black fans, Keyshawn and Zubon and them ain't the way to go, as you can see.
That ain't it.
I ain't saying I speak for all black folks, but these two black men have no interest in hearing you in the midst of them. Get to a platform where your voice ain't squashed by whoever you talking with, where you can really chop your shit.
Yeah. I wanted to chop it up with you, man, about something, bro. Mind if we chop it up?
Man. Go for it, cuz.
Is that how we gonna get in the chop sessions? Bruh. So recently,
right, well,
this has been I think I've thought about for a while, but we see a lot of, you and I spend a considerable amount of time on social media because of the show and, for personal consumption. More so of an argument on Twitter. You see it on Instagram. I don't know about it from Facebook because I just don't consume that platform or anything from it. But from the Twitter sphere, you see a lot of folks who get to stunting based on buying something expensive. Like you see a lot of labels, Chanel, the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons. And I see a lot of this shit, man. And a lot of it be just mad ugly, man. Like it's not to say that these designers don't know what they doing, but like some of this, like everything don't look right on everybody. And because you paid a lot of money for it doesn't mean that it's tasteful or it looked good on you. And so the point I wanted to make is that expense is not equal to taste. And you had a quote from somebody who I value their opinion pretty high. Like I have pretty high regard for their opinion. And I believe what they said was right, but what they said, he said it because he got taste. And I'll let you give the quote of who you quoted in saying in the rebut to that statement that I made at expense is not equal to taste.
Just out of Lil Uzi Vert, man. He said, man, these niggas, they never felt these fabrics here. You talking about?
Shout out to Uzi, man. Yeah.
They asked him what he would say to people who say things like what he said, and that's what he said, man. It was a damn good rebuttal.
And it's not always
because he had on some fresh ass shit that did look like it was a crazy ass fabric, though.
I think it was like it looked like a medieval blouse or some shit.
Like it was some. He said these fabrics. This shit right here soft as fuck too.
But it also didn't have like a label on it, like an identifiable label. Like it was some fresh shit. It looked like it was mad comfortable. It was not one of these readily identifiable labels that we always see. And so I guess the point of what I wanted to get around to is like my take on this shit is, man, like wear whatever you feel comfortable in, man. Like I've seen a lot of really nice shit at thrift stores. I've seen a lot of shit at really expensive. Like my cousin went to the Galleria. He took me in some stores that I ain't never heard of before. I felt some of them fabrics in that bitch, and I looked at the price tag. Hella expensive. Felt divine, fresh shit. But make sure what you're getting is not simply because it's expensive. Make sure that shit tasteful too, man. Get your fashion game up. Like you see my dog sitting over there. I don't know how much his jacket costs. I ain't counting his pockets, but that shit look fresh as hell. The fabric look divine. It look like it's lint rolled. It look like it's pressed. The tie, the shirt underneath. For the folks who on the listening platforms, like my dog rocking a red tie. I don't know the design on it, but it's fresh, very good spacing.
Let me get up.
He got a very solid knot, man. Yeah, slide in this thing, man. Let me see what you rocking now. That is it's puppies, yeah, like the little Schnauzer guys. Oh, that's cool as hell. Yeah, my dog not tied nicely. He his shirt pressed. Yeah, don't know how much it costs. Oh, Tommy, shout out to Tommy. Yeah.
When I be writing them bars, I be meaning that shit, P. You heard me, cuz. You know that verse I gave you earlier this week? When I be writing them bars, I mean it.
It's just Tommy Hilfiger. Yep, you said it.
You already know it. Bet the house on me. Bet the fucking house on me. Yeah, you talking about.
But yeah, man.
That thing older than some of you niggers and y'all opinions.
How do you feel about like expense versus taste? Do you think I'm completely off base in this shit, or
I feel several different things about it. I think about it as a producer of content, art, and other products. And I think about something where I heard someone say your price is also a reflection of your customer base. Like, do you want customers who believe that they are worth it? Or do you want customers who feel like they are a bargain? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like some of that ugly shit is priced where it is simply because of who made it. And it being consistent with the actual good looking shit that they may make. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why they can get that for it because of the other stuff. Secondly, I feel like a lot of these niggas, because of how they actually look, are fishing with that shit. So they don't care how it looks, because to be straightforward, no t-shirt is going to look good on a nigga shaped like a bowling pin. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's clear that it's a bunch of F's all over it, then I paid $2,000 for this t-shirt. You see what I'm saying? Fuck if it's ugly.
Yeah.
These are the resources at my disposal, bitch. Come eat with me. I'm obviously eating well. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that's a lot of what's going on there. So I'll say those two components of why is this ugly shit priced there? That's a hypothesis. And why is niggas putting this ugly shit on? And even for the niggas who ain't peacocking because of that level of unattractiveness, I think it's still peacocking. You feel what I'm saying? Whether you feel like you're attractive or not, I feel like that's where that shit coming from. If you put on some dead ass ugly shit that's wildly expensive, it's okay to wear that ugly ass shit because it's expensive. What are your thoughts?
That makes sense.
Like if I walked in this bitch with a big ass fox on that I paid 20 bands for, and he was like, man, look at this dumbass Crocodile Dundee head ass nigga. And a bitch in there who know about foxes, and she looked down and see the shoes, and she like, oh shit, that nigga on some good shoes. Let me look at that watch. Okay, there ain't no diamonds in that bitch. That bitch a timepiece. Okay, hold up. What's up with you? Yeah, bitch, just that old money. Cause only old money niggas be wearing foxes and geese and shit. You feel just a loose ass neck geese with a motherfucking ascot on. You feel me? And you could think Brent look dumb as fuck in them tight ass shorts and that sweater with that ascot and that goose on, but certain kind of bitches gonna be like, he peacocking though. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He don't like having a goose draped on their neck.
Yeah, he didn't. What you saying is he didn't make the rules. It's like, well, this shit may be ugly to you. If somebody come up to me and say it's ugly, this is like that. That's my point. Is expensive doesn't equal tasteful. But he's like, well, it's expensive, and you're not gonna convince everybody that this shit not tasteful. It's expensive. Therefore,
can I rebut that with something crazy?
Yeah,
I was scrolling through my Spotify. And I seen a nigga in a pink hoodie. And I was like, this motherfucker think he Cameron. I clicked on that bitch and they had changed the artwork to to one of the songs and it was Cameron. So to me, a hip hop nigga in pink is Cameron. So feel how you want to, niggas who wear pink. Even if I wear a pink hoodie, I'll be like, oh man, if a nigga get at me, I just gotta accept that today. Pink is Cameron, nigga. So expensive, tasteful. How you feel about that? If for niggas who consider themselves to be niggas of good taste, the James Hardens of the world, the Lil Babies of the world, how can you tell a nigga who only buy shit that costs that one of the ugly ass things he bought that cost that ain't tasteful when all the stuff he buy costs that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He think everything he buy tasteful.
Fair. Hey, I'm not here to argue with you. That this is just my take.
Them niggas at Fashion Week and then bringing these concepts back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you say, nigga, you wildin'. And in his head, he think this outfit not for West Heimster. This outfit is for Milan.
You be killing me pronouncing that shit West Heimster. That shit is Westheimer.
I just like saying shit how I like to say it.
We love that. We love that street.
The reason I do that, shouts out to my mama, bruh. She has never pronounced the paramour of one of her 5 boys correctly. I have never heard her say the girl that one of her children were dating or married to. I've never heard her say it correctly. And the reason why this is hilarious, people, we not texting her the shit. We say, hey, mama, this is blank. And then she repeated wrong, and then that's her name forever. She add a vowel, take out a consonant, just do shit, change it, fuck it, that's your name. So I've done that with different stuff in life. Like I say Yahoo instead of Yahoo, and that bitch West Heimster, cuz. And every time I'm looking for it on the map, I can't find it because I'm looking for the wrong shit.
Hey, actually, I told you to do some shit that you should not do, which is change what you was doing in the first place. Because I watched the shout out to the Nappy Boy podcast, T-Pain. That motherfucker got merchandise that say Wisconsin. So do your thing, bro. And I'm sure people was buying them. I'm sure people buying them shirts. I am sure they are buying those shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So West Heimster, we're gonna be sitting here with West Heimster shirts, charging $65 for a damn t-shirt, and I'm gonna be like, I was wrong the entire time.
Straight up.
Mispronounce that shit.
I picture a Houston nigga with a French mustache. That's what a West Heimster is. That would be the logo. Real hipster, you feel what I'm saying? He moved to Houston from Austin. Shouts out to my nigga Ant. Was he the nigga you talking about that was finna go live? Because I'm pretty sure he was about to get at dude. Because what happened was Ant. Because you remember, he was like, man, you know, I don't eat no meat, man. But you think y'all could grill this papaya? He was like, nigga, we grill anything. I clean out this side of the grill, put some aluminum foil down and everything. Huh?
He was fine. I loved him. The nigga.
Now, I know he wasn't the problem. Was he who you were talking about as the dude who was finna get at him?
Oh nah, it wasn't that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause Ant came to me a few times. He peeped. He was like, man, you hear this nigga telling people he the one throwing the barbecue? I said, yeah, I peeped. You see
your brother was finna get at that nigga.
He was also.
That's who was finna get that's who was finna get at.
And that nigga Ant was like, I was like, you also see how ain't none of the women responded to that bullshit neither, right?
Yeah. The women were not responsive to that guy.
That's why he was trying to leave with plates and liquor, because he ain't leave with nothing else. Yeah.
Like the women he invited was on us. They like, these niggas out here cooking. They got all these people out here, and they like, and they knew he didn't. Like he's like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everybody that we knew around the pool was like, oh,
we've been around you. We ain't never ate like this. You ain't had nothing to do with this food.
Right.
That nigga Donna was working a deep fryer. He was in for a go around. That nigga had like he had been barbecuing out that bitch for 40 years. You remember first time I hit that bitch with some chicken, that bitch overflowed? That was a good day, bro. That whole day was fine. Nigga jumped in the pool. Damn, I think I should have waited 30 minutes before I got in the pool. It feel like I'm finna throw up. So nigga, how many beers you done had? Fuck you talking about jumping in the pool after eating. You in 3 feet of water, nigga. Your dick wet. That ain't got nothing to do with you feeling like you about to throw up. You feel what I'm saying? Get your grown ass out that pool. Cause if you throw up in that pool, the party over. You heard me? That shit was a good ass day, bro. We was in that bitch talking shit. You hear me?
Oh man. Once again, bro. What's the name of the show?
Give me some headlines.
Can I give you some headlines, man?
Man, please do, man.
Square money, man.
I'm gonna refiltrate some water into this the cup real quick.
All right.
I really enjoy that, bro. Is that stupid?
Refiltrating water?
Closing that damn lens.
Whatever floats your boat and find your lost remote is not crazy at all. All right, man. So we're about to come with some more headlines. This first one is from Vanity Fair. It states Owen Wilson says his brother Andrew helped him get back on his feet after 2007 suicide attempts. The next headline is Amazon. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. 8 fantasy football veterans whose value should soar after changing teams. And then this Amazon one trying to hold me, but I still got it though. I ain't even gonna let you hold me like that. Amazon just dethroned Walmart, and it's the end of the world as we know it. So Owen Wilson's brother helped him get back on his feet after a 2007 attempted suicide.
Yeah, the first time you said it, it sounded like he tried to do it 2007 times. And I was like, God damn.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah, damn.
Stressed me out when you said that shit.
Shit, that would be awesome.
You said after 2007 suicide attempts. I said, what? He mean attempt. Okay.
Yeah, attempt.
Woo. Now, you said it different the second time. I think, cosmically, you felt how I heard it, and you was like, I got to say that different. Go ahead. I'm not picking that one because of how it felt the first time.
Yeah.
But I let you repeat it for that reason. Go ahead.
So, yeah, the headline is Owen Wilson says his brother.
No. Don't repeat that one. Move on. We done. We done with that one. God bless him. And shouts out to Andrew because we need people like you. But let's move on.
Bet that. So Amazon, this one, the world is over as we know it. Apparently, Amazon has dethroned Walmart as the number one distributor of goods. outside of, they have dethroned Walmart. So outside of China, Amazon is the biggest distributor of goods. And then the other one is 8 fantasy football veterans whose value should soar after changing teams. And this is fantasy related.
Yeah, we talked about Bezos a couple episodes ago. Let's go with that fantasy football joint. Get me ready for my draft, man. Talk to me about who I can steal in the 7th.
Here we go, man. So 8 fantasy football veterans whose value should soar after changing teams. And this is from USA Today. NFL players are searching for ways to maximize their production. Sometimes that means changing teams. This offseason, the league saw a number of stars move, whether through trade or free agency, from receiver Julio Jones to quarterback Matthew Stafford to receiver Kenny Golladay. The biggest transactions should have a major impact on the world of fantasy football. Fantasy football owners should, as always, take note of which players are on the move. The first of those players that will provide you some great value is Matthew Stafford, moved from the Detroit Lions to quarterbacking the Los Angeles Rams. 2 words, 1 person. Sean McVay is the reason for this increased value. The number 2 person that you should be taking a look at in your fantasy drafts is Ryan Fitzpatrick, quarterback, Washington football team. He made the move from the Miami Dolphin. So with Fitzpatrick in Miami 2020, there wasn't just the ever-growing threat of Tua Tagovailoa. There was also an underwhelming group of pass catchers. He does not have that problem in Washington, so he should be on your radar. Number 3, Mike Davis, running back, Atlanta Falcons. Mike Davis is the starter, which honestly is pretty weird. I kept expecting the Falcons to make a move for one of the running backs lingering on the free agent market, but they never budge with their group. So Davis is the starter, and he will be the lead back in 2021. He's currently going 65th overall. So that is around, depending on what league you're in, that is, if you're in a 12-team league, that's going to be in the 6th round, mid-6th roundish. If you are in a 10-team league, that is going to be going, I guess, into the 7th round. You can pick him up around the mid-6th, early 7th round. The 4th person is Marvin Jones, receiver, Jacksonville Jaguars. He will be pass catching my guy Trevor Lawrence. He finished 2020 with 76 receptions, 978 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So look for him to be a big pass catcher down there in Jacksonville. The 5th person is Sammy Watkins, receiver, Ravens. He made the move from Kansas City. Rashad Bateman, the 2021 Ravens first-round pick, looked good in training camp, but then suffered a relatively mysterious injury that will create a larger role for our dog, Sammy Watkins. Number 6 is Tyrell Williams, receiver, Detroit Lions. Detroit's receiver depth chart is a bit of a wasteland with the departure of Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay. So the number 1 pass catcher for them will be Tyrell Williams. I think he made the move over from San Diego, the Chargers, or LA Chargers now, sorry. Jonnu Smith rolls in at number 7. Tight end for the Patriots. He made the move from Tennessee, the Titans. The Patriots are going to run their offense through their tight ends, which they have historically done. Those are Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry also made the move over from the LA Chargers. So yeah, I think he is going in later rounds. And they're gonna be tossing that rock around the field in New England. So get ready. And tight end is usually pretty skimpy. So you might
gonna be tossing that shit. They ain't gonna be throwing it. Cam gonna be dookie in that bitch.
My dog had some comments about Cam Ducks, man. I ain't appreciate them shits, man. But yeah, he will be tossing that guy. It is not a tight spiral right now. But
Cam, just so you know, bro, just how you taught on me, you got to throw it down at the receiver. You could throw an arc on that bitch. You feel what I'm saying? Like his release point, he throw it at niggas instead of two niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with it motion. He ain't have to change his original motion. He just had to think, throw it to that nigga instead of at that nigga.
Yeah.
Touch and everything would be solved if he just started throwing it to niggas instead of at niggas.
Yeah.
Like I see that nigga cock back and then he fire that bitch. He don't throw it. It'd be like
Cam's
that bitch get there.
It's like a golf swing. Like it's supposed to be slow.
The nigga hands big enough. How the fuck is he gripping the ball? Why the shit don't spiral? I learned to spiral back when a tennis racket was heavy to me. Like, what the fuck going on with that man grip?
Who knows, man? Long as it gets there.
Maybe that bitch too small. Maybe his hands too big.
That may be it.
Yeah.
It may be too. His man's may be too big. Number 8 is Jared Cook, tight end, LA Chargers. He made a move over
tight ends.
Obviously, yeah. I guess with the Travis Kelce's of the world and the George Kittles, man, everybody trying to find like that. And then you got the cat out there in Oakland, Darren Waller. With these cats,
you my fantasy football guru. Is Kittle a good bet this year to stay healthy? How many of the 17 am I gonna get to enjoy his splendor if I draft George Kittle, man?
I think he give you 12. Have a backup ready. He gonna be
fuck.
Have a backup ready.
He gonna miss 5 potential. Over under on that 5.
Over under.
If you had to go, I know that's your safe bet 5, but over under if I'm thinking about pulling the trigger and 5 is my limit, pull it or don't get him. If I need my guy for 13.
I forget what his injury was, and I feel more comfortable if I think it was a lower body injury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Over.
Damn. Okay.
I'm gonna say up to 7.
I'm gonna go see if that's a prop out there. That part of why I had you do that.
Yeah, he missed over.
Okay.
I hope he don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna speak that into existence. He missed at the most.
I got the real prediction, and I accept that.
Yeah, I don't want him to miss no games though, because obviously, like with anything else, you want the best guys on the field, and he's one of the best doing what he does. So I hope he don't miss any time this year. But coming off, I
feel like
injury
because he loved Jimmy Graps. He is going to do everything in his power to make sure that the next phase of his career is fruitful. So I think he gonna give his left nut to every goddamn ball that's thrown his way, every running play. Like he gonna give 110, and that's the only reason I respect your 12 game estimate, because I know he not finna get out there and pussyfoot. That man finna go balls to the walls for Jimmy Graps, and then when they put the young dude in, he gonna ride for the 49 on his helmet. He gonna go balls to the walls, period. But he a love-driven guy, and the more he love Trey, the more he'll play for Trey. But he loved the fuck out of Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he a good draft pick, but that 12 worried me, and I think you scared me away from him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Straight up.
The thing about good tight ends like him, man, is like they go, like they be on they end of the first round, top of the second round cusp. So it's a lot of people first pick. Like somebody gonna take Travis Kelce like number 1, like not number 1 overall, but they gonna take him with their first pick. And so like that shit scared me taking a tight end like that high. When there's so many other pass catchers. I mean,
a nigga took Patty 4th overall last year.
Yeah,
it's like, nigga, you took a quarterback. That was like, it's Patty.
That's the thing, man. Is I don't. So I guess we can. This is a segue into our next segment, which is that's a bet on preparing yourself for the fantasy season. So my dog can get this timestamp right on that guy, so he know we changed. But that's a bet, man. What you should do to prepare yourself for victory this fantasy season, or setting yourself up for fantasy success. And we'll look at this from a how many? What are the leagues you usually in? A 10 team leagues, or they 12 team leagues?
I'm only in one, and it's a 10. Up until last year when we added 2, so it was the first year it was 12. And we ain't quite got everything together this year yet. I sent a few messages, I ain't got no responses. Niggas be waiting until last minute in that joint.
So I'll look at it from a 12-team standpoint. Usually fantasy teams have, especially in the 12-team
12-team snake draft.
League, 12-team snake draft. Y'all PPR, point per reception?
I think we're half PPR. Last year we tried PPR the year before. I don't know what Commish gonna do this year.
Okay.
2 years ago was the first time we added PPR, and because points went through the roof, he switched it to half PPR last year, and results weren't very much different, but scores did go down. I don't know what that did for niggas' emotions or how they felt or whatever, but I also don't know what it did for the outcomes of games. You know what I'm saying? If they'd have been different. Comparison stuff is huge, and we don't get that, so I don't know.
And that's the thing I'll tell our listeners and our viewers is the first thing you need to do when it comes to these fantasy drafts, because the most important day of the year is the draft. It's really that important. Getting at least a good core of guys that are going to be successful this season, because you definitely gonna have some waivers. Like there's gonna be injuries, there will be waivers, but the higher you can be in that waiver queue, because you're not having to pick up guys because the guys that you drafted are working out, and you can pick up those guys who step in and kind of add value to your team is super important. So the first thing you want to do is understand the rules of your league. So how your points are set up, whether it's PPR, how many points you do get for a touchdown. Like in some leagues, quarterbacks get 4 points for a touchdown thrown. And then in some leagues, they change that to 6 points. And so in those leagues, I don't mind taking the quarterback early, because you get those 2 extra points that receivers get for scoring a touchdown, that running backs get for a touchdown. Now, if they change the quarterback points from 4 to 6, I'm probably leaving that league, because I don't really. I think quarterbacks, you got most of them throwing 30 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns in a year. But that's just a preference of mine. So understand, if you got a defense that forced a lot of fumbles last year, and your team in your league gets 2 points per fumble recovery, then you probably want to try to look at, getting the defense. So it's understanding the point setup in your league, understanding the rules of your league, understanding your waivers queue, where you would fit in that, understanding how many roster spots you have is extremely important.
Having a good defense is key, bro. I didn't get a defense until the end of the draft. And I had to draft a new defense every fucking week, man, because I literally went to the waivers and looked at who was playing the worst opponent.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, y'all got the Bears? Bet. I'm gonna pick them up. And I'd have to do 2 or 3 because somebody might snake me and get them before me, because I was always having to go get one. Get a good defense so that you can not worry about that shit, and pick up an alternate every now and again and drop a kicker or some shit. Get a defense. I don't be giving advice. I usually be asking for advice, but I say that defense shit matter.
It does.
That shit suck.
So,
because they'll get you negative. That's the biggest thing. It's just having one that don't fuck you is huge.
and at worst, you want a net zero. Like don't come out here and get me a -6. Like, I think once you get to like,
just to let y'all know where I was at, I ended up with Dallas defense last year, and you see how they first 5 games went. Dak was throwing for 400 yards a game because they was getting 35 put up on their ass. God damn.
So what is your, and I'm gonna run and grab some right quick. I'll be right back. But what is your strategy like in your first? Because I think the first 4 picks are pivotal. Like the first 4 rounds for me are very pivotal. What do you? And I can hear you. But what do you like to do? Do you play it by? Do you let the draft, like depending on where you are, do you let the draft dictate, or do you go in saying I'm gonna do this, and this starting off?
Man, I just kicked my camera. That's too far that way. Damn. And now I'm fiddling with my camera. Hey, let me slide it closer. Yep. We almost in the ballpark. I'm still doing this shit by the time he got back. That's funny as shit. But when I first started in this shit, my strategy was look at the notes that I had gotten from all of my conversations with P and then just follow my notes. But now at this point, man, because I feel like I'm good at this shit, I really be playing mind games. And it's a few people in my league who be checking out, Gimme Some Headlines. So I'm hesitant to put this out there. But you know, I'm that nigga, man, so fuck y'all. Bitch, I know that wasn't my door. You kick my door, we gonna square up. But I like to do the opposite of whatever I see my league doing, depending on where I'm at. Cause they smacked me over the forehead with some bullshit. Before we had been doing wild shit, niggas was picking out of hats. We was picking different people who was racing and different dumb shit like that. And like last year, they did it the reverse order of where you placed in the league. And I was number 2. So out of 12, I was number 11 in a snake draft. So I had to watch 10 fucking picks before I went. And everybody went running back. And after you get out of the top 10 running backs, what the fuck is left? Slaw, right? So if I get a running back, everybody's going to get the rest of the decent running backs, and then all of the starters are gone, and I got one good running back. You feel what I'm saying? So after I saw 10 running backs go off the board, I said, fuck it, and I took DeAndre Hopkins. The nigga behind me, he's like, oh shit. Oh, I forget who he went and got, but he went and got a receiver too, whoever he thought was the next best. The next receiver I took, Julio Jones. Snake draft. So I'm 11 and then I'm 2nd in the next round. You see what I'm saying? When I went Julio, every one of the next picks was a motherfucking receiver. And when my snake came back up, I went Aaron Jones and I forget the other running back I got, but I got 2 running backs who was averaging crazy numbers. But I got the 2 running backs I wanted because everybody was thinking receiver. It's like niggas is getting both of their receivers. What's going on here? You feel what I'm saying? But they panicked. Yeah. But it was a mind game because I needed 2 good running backs. And I got, I don't remember who my 2 running backs was, but I got 2 studs, bro. Niggas I'd have never got had I picked Aaron Jones with my first pick. If I'd have went D-Hop, Aaron Jones, or Aaron Jones, D-Hop, niggas would have went ahead and got their running backs. But when I went receiver, it shifted the tide. Because if 3 other people do that, then the top 10 receivers is, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 to 4 other people do that, then everybody fucked in a 12-team league. So everybody went receiver with their next pick. So what's your strategy? So my answer is shake shit up is what I like to do with my first couple of picks. If I'm in the back and if I'm in the front, it's really best available. No strategy, just best fucking player available because I'm confident that I'll get the best team. But if I'm in the back, I'm playing mind games because I got to shake shit up because if they go best available, I'm fucked.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It's like a lot of folks, this shit is like any other, like this is like any other sport or any other. It's like stick to the plan. You came in here with a plan. If your plan was to take 3 running backs, running back, stick to that. Like bro, I know somebody in our league now, it was a terrible strategy because he didn't let it play out right. But he took 7 quarterbacks in the draft, bro. 7 quarterbacks. And we're not talking about any fucking quarterbacks. Like he had Lamar Jackson. He had Kyler Murray. He had Russell Wilson. Like he had all these guys like to start out the damn year. And I was like, damn. And people started seeing that. He did that shit in the first round. He picked the quarterback. He had Patty Mahomes, I think, also, bro. Like he took like 4 of the best 10 quarterbacks in the fucking league. And everybody was like, oh, shit, like, what do we do? And it threw the whole league.
Bro, I couldn't wait to draft Tim Tebow for them Taysom Hill type points. Nigga, I'm mad at Urban by that shit. I don't care how bad he blocked. Yeah. I wanted that shit for my fantasy team and my shit talking.
Yeah. But my strategy is usually, like you're right, like in one of my leagues last year, I was the 2nd overall pick, and then in one of my leagues I was a mid pick, and then in one of them I was 11 out of 12. And I kind of like I like that, but I don't mind that shit though because I know I got 2 back to back, so I know it's like you may snake me on the front end, but on that back end, the only person between me and the next motherfucker that I want is that motherfucker in the 12 spot, so I can get 2 right back to back who are very comparable players. Mm-hmm. And so, like, being able to do that, like, it's not, and I feel like in them later rounds, I feel like, so in that 15, 16 pick, like when everybody kind of lost their interest, I win a lot of motherfucking drafts or a lot of leagues because I win a lot.
Niggas be letting that auto draft and shit. They like, man, we 2 hours into this shit.
Right. And what I'll do is, man, like I really look at, all right, who's backup? Like I'll go look at, all right, Christian McCaffrey got hurt last year. I had Christian McCaffrey backup. It's like who run the ball a whole lot? Or who were like Alvin Kamara. Like I went and picked up Buddy that came over from the Raiders. So it's like, it's really looking at the fucking league and realizing, like, as I call it, I didn't create this term, but it's called a handicap. If you got a running back that's super fucking good, so Nick Chubb, say you got Nick, or in Green Bay you had Aaron Jones, and then his backup was Jamal Williams. So if somebody get Aaron Jones and I wanted Aaron Jones, I'll go get Jamal Williams because if Aaron Jones miss any time, now I got Jamal Williams. And so for me, like my strategy is usually to go at least running back first and then running back receiver or running back. And I may go running back for 3 straight picks. So when everybody went 10 fucking running backs, oh, fuck that. I'm still going running back. Like at 11, I'm still going running back. I done went Aaron Jones probably at running back. Or you may be right in taking because you do the 11th pick. So the only person in between you and your next pick is pick number 12. And very likely he's not going to do what you're doing because he got 2 back.
And also the psychology was I want cream of the crop things on my team. So if everybody's going to go running back, I'm going to get top of the top wideouts. Mm-hmm. And then everybody going to go wideouts. I'll go get what I was going to get at running back anyway. You see what I'm saying? Potentially or better than I would have got if everybody kept picking running backs. And then with my next opportunity, I go get the top of the next thing as opposed to continuing to just follow whatever they picking in. You see what I'm saying? The only thing I clown myself on was defense, kicker, and I had to get creative at tight end. But you didn't close the loop on your boy who picked the 7 quarterbacks. I'm assuming the long game was leverage other people to come up off of good players for these quarterbacks. Did the whole league collectively just kind of say fuck him and he didn't wait him out, or how did that play out?
He didn't wait him out. He was like he would get, because you didn't use 7 roster spots for quarterbacks.
So he had to drop people to fill the tean?
Yeah, like, because you can only play one of them guys, so he had to fill his team. So he was dropping fucking Lamar Jackson.
And niggas was scooping him up for nothing.
And Wade was like, why did you even draft him if this was your strategy? So he couldn't even wait people out because he had to fill his damn roster up. Now, had he done that with 4 quarterbacks, maybe a whole lot better strategy, because you still got a lot of bench positions. Well, maybe not even a lot of bench positions, but you still got some bench positions that you can use to house those quarterbacks until somebody need them hoes.
What narcotic you blame it on? Alcohol, weed?
Where they had to go to him and be like, hey, look, I just lost my number 1 guy. I need Lamar Jackson. Here's who I have. Like, now you've leveraged Lamar Jackson into a Stephon Diggs or somebody like that, because it's early on in the season and he hadn't completely showed his ass just yet. So
I remember I spent 2.5 weeks trying to talk a nigga out of Christian McCaffrey, and he turned me down. And when that nigga got hurt, all I said was, I ain't the type of person to say I told you so or celebrate when a nigga get hurt, but I appreciate you for not making that trade, my G. That shit was so, and I that's not me celebrating him getting hurt, but I really do appreciate him for not making that trade, because I went the fuck off last year. Like, for real though. How you projected this year? How many leagues you in? Don't tell the people where you're drafting first, because they might be listening. We got to get our draft prep together, man. We need to put a GSH team somewhere, man, and manage them. NFL.com got a league where they randomize you into different leagues.
That's interesting. I'm in 3 this year. One that's been a league for like over a decade. One former workplace league that I won last year, and like they was really they appreciate the way I play, so they invited me back.
You think they would do one?
Who that? I don't know who that is.
4 up, 4 down.
A R A. Yeah, I have no fucking clue. I am about as lost can be.
Put a B and an A in front of the second letter you said.
Oh, that was I feel like I would hate playing in the league with them, man. I feel like I would hate that shit.
Okay.
I feel like I would hate it.
Who the former workplace you is playing one with? Give me you could be mysterious. You ain't got to say the company.
Do with Trina, the company that Trina work for.
Okay, that was up.
Yeah, the project management work at. But yeah, my strategy this year is.
I ain't even tell you, my dog say he got COVID.
From
Nah. You know him. I ain't gonna say a name, put a business in the street.
Oh, okay.
But niggas out here living real life. He is. He gonna be fine.
Okay. But yeah, man, with this, so my strategy this year is depending on I'm with you on take best available in a lot of different cases because I can leverage that for whatever I need. Like if I accumulate talent and somebody that people want, like I do a whole lot of research when it comes to this shit. I look at coaches, I look at offensive coordinators, I look at obviously injury history. I look at obviously who the quarterback is of that team. So because a lot of it is running backs are in short supply, or like the bell cows anyway. Like we've moved away from that in the NFL, and it's gone more towards a two running back system. And for a lot of teams, some teams have one guy who gets the majority of the snaps, but a lot of teams, like when you got a Christian McCaffrey, you got an Alvin Kamara, like those guys get more of the snaps than other guys and more usage because of their versatility. But
so if you draft in top 4 and you want a bell cow, somebody who's gonna be a big point guy, who we talking about?
So I'm taking obviously Christian McCaffrey,
20 touches.
Yeah, obviously Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Zeke Elliott. He coming back this year. I'm taking a guy who's in the game on passing down. So your Alvin Kamara's, Austin Eckler out there in San Diego, LA Chargers. Nick Chubb, I feel like it's gonna get a lot of work this year. J.K. Dobbins.
How many games you giving Saquon if you only giving Kittle 12?
How many games am I giving Saquon?
Yeah.
My hope with Saquon is that he did some things on the training side this offseason that is going to, because he obviously works out a whole lot to preserve his body. But I feel like and hope that he did some things to kind of take some of that muscle mass off and become more agile, so he don't have these issues that he be having, man. But it was an ACL, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he was ACL.
I feel like it was on that Bo Jackson level shit where he creates so much torque and energy that when he tried to change direction, it was too much pounds of pressure on that ligament and that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about taking muscle mass off, I see where that come from, but I guess more or less strengthening the muscles that take tension would be, he got to be on that shit on full tilt. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everything else was already one of one, you know what I'm saying? So he got to get the tension muscles, the ones that take the shot. He got to get them OD, you feel me?
Yeah. I'm giving Saquon 14 games this year.
Oh, okay. I definitely take the under on that. I got to check the prop on that, boy. If them niggas giving 14, I'm bet the house on it. Bet the fucking, this is not gambling advice.
So, yeah, those are my bell cows: Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. I really believe in Aaron Jones, man. Ronald Jones down in Tampa. Who else we got? I was really high on Cam Akers out in LA, the Rams, but he's out for the season. He got hurt in preseason. Nick Chubb, said Kamara. Who else we got? And these are also teams who are like who have pretty balanced attacks, because you got some teams that are gonna throw that bitch across the yard. Like obviously we know Kansas City, they can heave that hole up and down that field, and they'll run for balance sake, but the value's gonna come in Yeah, like with Christian McCaffrey, he gonna get you 18 to 22 carries a game. He also gonna get probably 6 to 8 targets a game at minimum. So you're looking at 20 some odd touches. I'll take my chances with him getting 20 some odd touches, especially in PPR leagues. And I feel like that's why people are, if I'm in a PPR league, which I am, I'm probably going receiver first on a team where they letting that bitch fly. So I'm taking a Stephon Diggs. Like he got, I think, like 150 targets, over 150 targets last year. Like if they or a team I know that's going to be behind and they can get
Or the blue chippers, talk to us about the risky Dixies of two receivers coming off of injury who could have monster years. Who you taking if you were a risk taker between OBJ and AJ Green?
Ooh, I like that. OBJ.
Damn.
I feel like
I'd have took my nigga OBJ. AJ. We had it out about AJ.
But I don't think
UGA guy.
You asking me.
That's a good answer. I love an OBJ, bro. I might draft him simply so that I can root for him because of fantasy, because I'm be rooting for Arizona because of all my predictions.
That man got hurt chasing down somebody who had intercepted the ball. Like, for all the flack that man get, he is the type of teammate that's not letting that motherfucker run that ball back and score.
And they spend every moment after that talking about trading them or if they better without him. That shit's some whole shit.
Right. And so I am rooting for this man to do. I've always been rooting for him. Like, I've never, like, he gets criticized for things that we know other players do. And they are praised for it. So obviously he's one of the best at what he does, but he also is an incredible teammate. And I've never heard anything that has been otherwise of that gentleman, man. So I'm really, really pulling for him this season. I
don't think the criticism of OBJ is unique. What I believe wholeheartedly is that the scrutiny of OBJ is unique because we give a fuck about everything going on with him. He's not famous for being famous' sake. He's one of the stars of the league because he is one of the most captivating people to consume no matter what the fuck he up to. I watched like a 2-minute video of this nigga booming, just dunking a basketball and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this motherfucker got hops like my big brother. Here you talking about, I can't believe this little nigga can rise like that. But like, he get criticized and that scrutiny and shit come because we see it when he do it. Of course other niggas is doing this shit because he a human being. He not this motherfucker they try to paint him out to be. He just a motherfucker who love the game, who is extremely passionate and wildly captivating. So you see all of his ugly parts. And then people go, hey, person who entertains me, why don't you only do the things I like? Y'all shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
And enjoy the shit they entertain you, man. Like, just leave that man the fuck alone and let him be a human being. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't hope he have a better year than AJ Green, but I hope he have a healthy ass year. And you saying if you got to pick one between the two, that's who you picking. I hope both of them niggas play 17. I fought with both of them. I'm not mad at your answer. I'm mad that I'd have picked AJ Green.
To camelback off your point about how captivating he is, it goes to the same it's within the same wavelength of Sha'Carri Richardson ran in that race this past weekend. And instead of them interviewing the young lady who won, they interviewed Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, you don't, at the Olympics, you don't go to the person who came in sixth and say, well, how was that? No. You go to the person who won because that's the person that everybody want to see, who want to talk to. But this person who came in sixth is so captivating, is so confident in herself and carries herself, and everybody wants to see what she is doing. They took the camera over to the person who came in sixth and asked her questions and wanted an interview from her, wanted the sound bites from her. So I definitely get where you coming forward with OBJ, and because of that reason, man, because he has that.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah.
For everybody, I appreciate you for pointing that out and talking about why that's a difficult moment and why there was a kind of a lack of grace shown in that moment. That's an interview you never get. So to criticize how she performed or what she reflected in that moment, that interview should have only happened in a moment of triumph, is what my brother is saying. But for the people who are saying or critiquing the why is they even talking to her, it is because that race after the Olympics doesn't get that level of coverage and buzz around it, similar to what a player has on their wrist, unless it is OBJ, unless it is the first race where Sha'Carri is coming back to competition. So whether she comes in sixth or runs from that track to the moon, that race is a plot point in her story that they wanted to document. And that's why you have that post-race interview, regardless of the place she came in. But I thought it was tasteless to keep the cut where the girl walked past and smirk and stuff like that. Because there are certain ways to do live TV and cutaways and all that kind of shit. And
100%.
The 5-second delay to dump button wasn't hit when she cussed. A lot of things weren't done on the production end that left a young person who obviously is, while she runs with great form, stumbling her way through maturation. They wanted everybody to see her stumble. They left her bare naked as opposed to making her a partner in representing America. They left her out to dry with how they presented that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't very tasteful. And I ain't gonna say the company that the interview was done by, but they usually do a better job than that.
Yeah. I'm honestly glad it happened, man. Glad it happened. It happened the way it was supposed to happen, young lady.
The interview or the race?
I believe the race, the interview, everything.
I've always given the devil's advocate opinion on Sha'Carri. I've always given the devil's advocate opinion on Sha'Carri. A lot of what she yelled didn't make sense. It was like, go ahead and talk shit if you want to. If you had won, you would have talked shit. So if you lose, you can't preemptively be mad that people gonna talk shit because you lost. Secondly, to say you the sixth fastest woman to ever do this and nobody could ever take that away from you, you literally became the sixth fastest woman to ever do it by beating the time of the last person who was the sixth fastest woman. Somebody is going to do that to you one day. Somebody can take that away simply by running faster than you. They probably going to be Jamaican. I hate to even say it like that, but meet your fate on the same road you took to avoid it type of situation. Just a lot of what she yelled in the interview was just people who hating gonna take that and throw that back in her face.
Yeah.
And I'm just a nigga who don't give a fuck. And I see it. So niggas who hating, who looking for shit gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely, that can be taken away from you by somebody simply running faster than you. They ain't got to hate on you to do it. It ain't got to be no scheme. They just go run track and be faster.
And I heard the same thing. I just have a different perspective of what she said. I heard that as that's where she is now. Like she has accomplished that. And you can't take the fact that she's accomplished that away from her. Not that you can't take that record away from her. You can't take this accomplishment away from her or
feeling good about being the sixth fastest ever.
Yeah, people, they're going to try to tell her that she shouldn't feel good.
You can criticize because I'm not the first, but you can't tell me not to feel good about being the sixth fastest.
About where I am right now. I think that's how she was saying it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that make more sense. I took it literal.
Yeah. And because that's what the thing, like she's having to hear on social media people who wanted her to lose, who look like us, who look like her, wanted
super
her
lame.
To lose, saying
that shit lame and
pipe down and she don't need to be like, you have to be that fucking confident. You don't get to
a bunch of people who smoke weed saying that dumb shit too. Shut y'all judgmental ass up.
Yeah, like there's people who say like this woman she is 20 years old and has worked hard enough to become the 6th fastest woman in fucking history or in the world or whichever one it is, man. And people who, and that's the thing, like it's so many motherfuckers who out here just so miserable, nigga. Like they miserable as the
They're
fuck.
not the 6th best anything.
Nothing. They not even the 6th laziest nigga, bro. Like these niggas not even the 6th most ass nigga tweeting shit. And like, and they criticize this young woman.
Niggas don't even retweet the fresh memes as fast as other niggas. Like y'all not good at nothing. It be 3 days later and niggas is posting. I be acting like I'm alright, but deep inside, I think I can make it over the milk crates. Nigga, that's some weekend shit. I don't want to see that shit on Tuesday. The fuck is you doing, man?
Like that ass, man. Like, and like that woman out there. And I'm sure she's gotten so much flack for being herself, which is being passionate and excited about what she does. Like, bro, I want to see her succeed. Simply because
I like jokes, though. And I don't care if she
everybody loves jokes, bro. Everybody loves jokes.
I don't care.
Like, and
I'm with that. And if she do, I celebrate with you. But I'm not gonna root for her to lose.
No, of course. But that
I'm about these jokes, bro. And from a nigga who just like watching stuff and consuming things and who love track just cause track is cool as fuck. Her hair looks amazing and epic as fuck when she winning races. When 5 people is running past her and she in the back, and that motherfucker just flowing in the wind, colorful in her beautiful form, but motherfuckers is pew, pew, pew. And like, she in the back, and it's kind of like, it'd be like if you seen a motherfucker running and then you just seen the dirt kicking up, like, eat my dust, but it wasn't nobody there to eat the dust. That's...
Oh man.
Oh, that was the whole funniest shit of it for me, bruh. I ain't got no hate. I ain't got no negativity or nothing, but like, to watch the race, like, and I went back and watched some of the ones she won just because I love watching track. And you know what I'm saying? I like seeing Shorty win and shit too. So I watched it and I was like, nah, yeah, this shit look cool as fuck in this video. And then I went and watched this one. I was like, nah, this shit funny. This shit comical. This shit, yeah. This shit funny. Like, I just laughed my damn head off, bruh.
Let me tell you something good. We getting out of here. Y'all gonna leave my girls alone.
Somebody else.
Tell me something good, bro.
You should be in love with yourself.
So let me tell you this.
Today I do a couple
you
good
remember,
deeds.
We keeping it real out here.
Walking,
you
breathing, blessedness.
But a long time ago, not even a long time ago, fairly recent memory, this young lady was involved in the Montgomery bus boycotts because they asked her to move to the back of the bus and she wasn't having it. And it started this whole moving wheel. Well, there was a story recently about a young lady who was in Montgomery 6 months prior to that. Can I tell you a little bit about her, G?
Tell me about her.
All right. So Montgomery civil rights legend Lucille dies at 100. Rest in power. 6 months before Rosa Parks defied the bus driver, Times punched him in the face. All right, so I'm gonna read this story. This story comes from WSFA 12.
So she pops from the Boondocks. Everybody talk about Rosa Parks. Right. I'm the real civil rights hero.
And she legitimately is, bro. So another of Montgomery's civil rights era legends has died. According to her family, Lucille Times has passed away. She passed away late Monday evening. Her nephew, Daniel Nichols, confirmed she was 100 years old. 6 months before Rosa Parks took her seat on a Montgomery bus in 1955, there was Times, who got into a fist fight with the same bus driver of the racially segregated bus line that June. She claimed he tried to run her car off the road, and she confronted him. Times wasn't arrested, but the ordeal prompted her to begin her own boycott of the buses, and she made it her mission to change things. When the Montgomery bus boycott later got started, she continued what she'd been doing for months, picking up waiting Black passengers she saw at bus stops. Parks' arrest that December would catapult her into history, making her name synonymous with the civil rights struggle, but Times would remain relatively obscure to the masses for more than half a century, though locally she was very well known. Times and her husband Charlie took part in the 1965 Selma to Montgomery March and led 18 people of all races from around the country. And let 18 people of all races from around the country stay in their home afterwards. The couple were longtime Montgomery business owners and stayed involved in the community. They were members of the NAACP, and Nichols said the couple was charter members of multiple organizations and clubs. They were honored with the dedication of a historic marker in front of their longtime home in 2011. The house, where they've lived since 1939, has been on the Alabama Register of Landmarks and Heritage since 2007. So Lucille Times, they try, and I read the story, bro, and I was like, I gotta bring this one to Tell Me Something Good, because this will make my dog so happy, because he be having such bad road rage with people who can't drive. And she was like, oh, it's a bus driver.
I'll be telling the people that.
Stick his ass. And she stuck dog in the face, man, and it catapulted a Montgomery, not just a Montgomery, a national treasure, man. And we want to make it a thing on this show to go find those stories and give them the necessary platform. As our platform grows, we'll make sure that those folks get the just due that they deserve. So Lucille Times, rest in power, young lady. But your story is far from over, because we still gonna tell it. Yeah, man. So I read that when I was like, I gotta put that on my dog, man. Let my dog hear about that, because one, she took him on fisticuffs. She was the Malcolm X to this thing, by any means necessary. And then that fist fight led her to be one of the most well-known civil rights activists of her time.
That sample of that ass whooping is probably why he called the police first instead of trying to remove Rosa. Nah, I ain't getting my ass beat twice. She taught him a lesson he ain't forget. That's what that was.
She every photograph I see of Black women during the civil rights,
professor time,
having it. They wasn't having it. Like the young lady who they had the gun in her face, and she just pushed it out the way and kept moving like it was, like they had a rifle on. Like she was like, man, get that, but you ain't finna shoot nobody. Nobody.
And this for y'all young people, cause y'all new generation, and you know what I'm saying, whenever you do anything, you want to appeal to young people because they're going to be doing stuff for the longest. So I love y'all, but I'm going to speak truth to power. And young people, y'all are wildly powerful. But what the fuck you not going to do is keep making this stupid ass statement, I am not my ancestors, popular. Fuck y'all. For your stupid ass to exist, your ancestors survived this country, this world's fucked up history. So shut your motherfucking mouth and respect your ancestors. Bitch, you is your ancestors. All that rebellion, all that strength you think you have, that's from motherfuckers who survived. Respect your motherfucking ancestors and your elders. Sick of the fuckery. I'm gonna tell you something. He gonna tell you something good, and I'm gonna tell you something real. This has been Gimme Some Headlines.
Well, we promote. Good thoughts.
Straight up, cuz.
and good fights. And that was something good. How you want to close it off, bro?
Oh no, I threw the 3 up and it ain't work. I think I'm gonna just end it after you saying that was something good. I think that's a good
we
stopping point.
Always remember, it is better to give than to receive.
Damn! That's my line.
That's your line.
It is better. I'm gonna mute you saying that you stole my line. Fuck! That's my fault. Collect myself and chop this for the edit.
You can start it over. We good. You ready?
Go ahead.
And this has been Gimme Some Headlines, where we promote good deeds, good thoughts, good fights. And this was something good. My G.
I don't know why I expected that to rhyme, but remember, whether you're trying to accomplish something, whether you're doing a good deed, or whether your partner is in need, we here at Gimme Some Headlines believe it is always better to give than it is to receive.